Now we write the negative impact of depreciation or devaluation. So negative impact. So in the long term, it will deteriorate. It will deteriorate the terms of trade. It will deteriorate the terms of trade of domestic companies with rest of the world. Domestic companies with rest of the world. Here terms of trade simply means export and import. So export and import, in the long run, if you are keep on depreciating or adopting the policy of devaluation, in the long run, it will have an impact or negative impact on your terms of trade between domestic country and the rest of the world. So terms of trade is started deteriorating. Example is China with rest of the world. China is capturing every market, so terms of trade of other countries also deteriorating. Chinese currency also getting less value. And people will not trust Chinese currency. Why? Because of excessive devaluation. Getting my point? The trust factor is relatively less. Because who knows that China can depreciate anytime. So it does not depend on the market value. It is a following fixed exchange rate. How it will affect China? In the long run, it will affect Chinese economy due to heavy depreciation. Whenever you will write few more points, you will understand, able to connect this first point. So for next one you write, it will create a problem of high inflation. It will create a problem of high inflation, that to cost push inflation, due to increase in the money supply. Why money supply will go up? Are you able to get this point? Like for example, again we are taking 65 a dollar. By depreciating of rupee 72, for every dollar you have to pay. Suppose I am the central bank of a country. Previously, if I was receiving $1, I have to pay 65. But now, after depreciation, if I am receiving any extra dollar, I have to pay 72 rupees a dollar. So for every dollar, now in the economy, there is, it means RBI is injecting extra 7 rupees. So if we inject extra 7 rupees in the economy per dollar, imagine when we are exchanging dollar in terms of millions. Obviously, it will increase the money supply in the domestic economy, will lead to inflation. And whenever you will find a cost push inflation, then there may be a problem of supply side factors. You remember the discussion of supply side and demand side factors. So it will improve or it will increase the cost of production. That is the same thing happening in China. Due to the reasons, now I can connect with the current situation, this basic point. 2015, China started experiencing economic slowdown. Why? Because of increase in the labor cost. Whenever you will experience increase in the cost, it will erode your market competitiveness. Your cost price will go up. The amount of labor you are putting, the amount is same, but you have to pay more wages. It means the cost of the production will go up. And when the cost of the production will go up, Obviously, if you are a big player, you can absorb that loss and shrink your profit. But if you are not, then you have to pass that cost to the customer. And whenever you will pass that increase in the price to the customer, what will happen? It will erode the competitiveness of that product in the market. Getting my point? Shall I explain again? Suppose, for example, this is the marker, cost around 30 rupees, made in China. There's a cost of around 10 rupees of labor, 5 rupees of suppose capital, so this is labor, this is capital, and 15 rupees of value addition. Whatever the features, sticker, etc., the design. So here, if suppose next year, due to rise in the inflation, people demand more wages. क्यों मांगेंगे? Because if there is inflation, their purchasing power will erode and they will demand more money just to raise their real income. So they will demand more money. If they will demand more money, it means next year your labor cost goes to 12. Getting my point? If this goes to 12, total price comes out as 32. When in the market, every company is selling the marker, same marker at 30 rupees and you are selling at 32. People will not prefer your marker. So obviously it will erode your competitiveness. Getting my point? That is the same thing happening with China. So in the long term, it will erode your terms of trade with other countries.
This is correct, but if when we are demanding more markers, then production will increase. Like if inflation is high and the production is high, then if the more production is there, then automatically cost will come down, isn't it?
If there is competition, labor cost is increasing. Suppose, for example, I've given one example last trip as well. That current affairs magazine or some magazine, you are getting 40 rupees each in every shop. But if someone, a new player comes into the picture in Rajendra Nagar and he will sell at 45 rupees, the same magazine, same cost, but due to increase in the cost of cartage or the increase in the cost of that person who is doing that photocopy, then obviously it will increase the cost of production of that particular 40 rupees magazine. Then what will happen? This cost has to be passed on to the consumer. So it means that magazine is now priced at 45 rupees. If there is any big player that can absorb, but if not, what will happen? Your competition in the long term will erode. Because market value knows, or consumers are aware with the market value. They will not give extra money in the market of that perfect competition. This is an example of perfect competition. So that is the same reason behind China is vacating the textile market. Now you can connect with these examples given in the economic survey, that China is vacating textile market. In textile market, labor cost has been increasing. And whenever labor cost has been increasing, if we compare Chinese goods with Bangladeshi and Vietnamese goods, you can imagine the living condition in Bangladesh and Vietnam. Obviously, so Bangladesh and Vietnam can able to produce same kind of textile with less labor cost. So people will prefer goods coming from Bangladesh and Vietnam. And the competitiveness of Chinese goods in the market was eroding due to high labor cost. Same thing, money supply increasing, inflation in the economy, and the long term terms of trade will decline. So China's export has started declining.
Is this trade war between US and China result of this?
Obviously, terms of trade, excessive protection, tariff, quotas, embargo. The three kinds of protection we can take. We'll discuss in WTO. WTO is a separate chapter of 2.5 hours. But we'll discuss WTO after we'll complete the agriculture. Because WTO plays an important role in Indian agriculture sector.
So when it becomes cost of living, is it specifically inflation?
Cost of living means you have to pay for that. The amount of rent, amount that you are devoting for food, for transportation, etc. Suppose you are earning 10,000 a month and your cost of living is 8,000. If your cost of living increases to 9,000, obviously it will erode your savings, or otherwise you will demand more money from the employer. When you demand more money from the employer, this is the result of rise in the labor cost. Are you able to connect all these things? ठीक है. Inflation. Next point you write. It will be detrimental. It will be detrimental for the external debt position of the domestic country. It will be detrimental for the, what I said? It will external debt to the domestic country. That is due to depreciation. More money has to go in order to repay your previous debt. External debt. Now, simple example. If you taken the loan, obviously from any foreign bank, foreign companies, at 65 a dollar, so we're receiving less rupee last year. But now, suppose this is the year of maturity, then you have to pay 72 rupees a dollar. It means 7 rupees a dollar you have to pay extra. That is the risk of exchange rate. Getting my point? So external debt will pile up. When in the long run, it is detrimental for the domestic economy. Any doubt regarding this? Are we clear about this? If you have any doubt, you can ask. A very, very important topic for next year preliminary exam. Very, very important. Because of the concepts and because of the news. So mark, very important, mark a star, whatever you want in this module, balance of payment and external sector.
India depends on foreign institutions and foreign portfolios for CAD. Lot of funds means the investments come and the current account deficit is balanced, right? Not because of exports, but because of the capital inflow.
Or sometimes we can say, but right now India is experiencing outflow. So whenever India or a domestic economy experiences outflow, then you have to pump that enough dollar to neutralize the demand of that US currency. If you are not pumping that amount of dollar in the market, obviously this will have an impact on rupee, and rupee depreciates. So if RBI is not pumping enough dollar in the market, demand for dollar will remain same. And if demand for dollar goes up in comparison to rupee, what will happen to the value of rupee? It depreciates. So it depreciates means the same thing happening in the current economic situation of our country. Rupee is in 2 or 3 days touching all-time low. That's the main scenario, because the availability of dollar is not enough in comparison to the demand. So RBI has to pump more dollar to arrest the problem of depreciation. Any doubt? मैं इसलिए पूछ रहा हूँ कि आगे का टॉपिक को समझने के लिए दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ठीक है, shall we move on?